The purpose of life is to be joyful. We get trapped into feeling or focusing on how many things are wrong. And in a world that is miraculously balanced in its biosystems and its, look at this rain, as we speak, rain is falling from the sky to then water plants, which then photosynthesize, and then it gets absorbed in the river, and then it floats, and then the ocean, and then woo. So much amazing things are going right constantly. And somehow we got into this trap where the details we focus on are what goes wrong. I blame the news for a lot of this, because news to us is what's going wrong. That's the story. How tragic. The story is, it's not the spikes of wrong in this beautiful plane of awesomeness. The story is the plane of awesomeness. Getting caught up in the spikes of brokenness is... That's like if you talk about what was your life like? Well, I broke my leg when I was this age. I got sick when I was this age. I got depressed when I was this age. And then I got in trouble when I was this age. That was my life. Oh, that's not your life. Anyway, so I was thinking about how joy becomes the focus. Joy may be the base of my religion. And I was thinking how, relating to some things that Bashar said about how when you are in joy, you are resonating with the frequency of the universe. And then I started thinking about perhaps joy, the expression of joy, is a sensation. In the same way a smell is a sensation, or a sight is a sensation, or a sound is a sensation. Like when you hear a high C, that's not a sound, that's a vibration that our human experience interprets as a sound. But if a sound happens in the woods, it's just a vibration. A human experience of that vibration is the sound. A light wave is just a wave. Our experience of that wave is blue. Joy is the vibration of the universe. Joy is the vibration of the divine. Joy is the vibration of universal alignment. And our experience of that is joy. That like popped in my head this morning, and I just almost had like chills. The gift of humanness, the gift of perception of a mind, while it's clouded in all sorts of challenges, such as the mental insecurities and physical ailments and all these things that we get caught up with, all the negatives that we tend to start to unfortunately focus on is what life is. But the gift of human experience is having a system that can perceive all of these awarenesses, not only just perceive it, but have this awareness of it. This divine gift, this piece of the divine. What a tragic thing to be given this gift, not only to perceive the universe as colors, as sounds, as smells and sights, but to be able to perceive the divine flow of all as an experience of joy. I think one of the ways that we achieve joy, I guess each individual's pursuit of joy, achievement of joy, awareness of joy is its own special equation, depending on many factors, may they biological or environmental or who knows what. And it's different for each person, but they have a lot of things overlapping. My grandpa said that it's work, worship, love, and play. That was how he defined the equation. It's not just pleasure. It's not just, meditating on a mountaintop. It's this balance of all these human experiences. And I think it's not, how that is balanced is also a very individual thing. Perhaps it is something where you toil and struggle and service to in certain ways as you are working, and then you experience profound play at another time. But I'm starting to think that maybe a more, I guess, harmonious pursuit is the integration of all those things at all times, where certainly different elements of that peak and spike at different moments, but it's still a total integration. I spoke to many people over this weekend who were going through this process of, some people were questioning their careers, but other people were challenging the way they looked at their careers, whereas they have the tasks of their careers. I talked to a man who was a mechanic, and his job consisted of interacting with people, fixing their cars. I guess that's it. But he became more and more aware of how interacting with people was a critical part of his job. And his purpose on this planet, his joy, was beginning to come from how he interacted with those people from a place of being present and being loving. I don't mean, he wrapped them in a hug and licked their face or something like that, although maybe that's how he does it, he didn't specify. But as we pursue this balance of whatever the factors are, I guess they can really depend. That was how my grandpa described it. I think for me, gratitude, service, maybe more than work, or other words that would come in, and how I would start to explain it. But finding these different elements of the human experience balanced into a way of vibrational joy that is our human understanding, our human perception, our human interpretation of alignment. And I think that as you strip away all the things that aren't that, it's like, what did Michelangelo say? I just took the piece of marble and chipped away everything that wasn't an angel. That's what we do to ourselves. We have to chip away all the things that are not our angel, all the things that are impediments to resonating at that frequency of joy. And those are fear, those are guilt, those are the values that are placed upon us from a society that often does not have our best interests in heart. Often, what am I talking about? Rarely. Being aware of this doesn't make it an easy thing. It simply makes it a thing to be aware of. And hopefully, just as during the meditation, as we let our mind go off into stories, we gently guide ourselves back to this now moment and awareness of what is happening now. The same is true as we are in our life and we go off into stories of guilt, of fear, off into these stories that affect us and take us out of joy, take us out of love, take us out of this moment, and gently coming back. Often we do it enough and suddenly those fears, we recognize them immediately. That's not real. That's not part of me. That's a piece of this, that's a piece of rock that I've been chipping away at, and I think, you know what? It's no longer a part of what I am. It takes, unlike marble, that once you chip it off, it's on the ground, our personas tend to want to coalesce back together like mercury. So it's a constant reminder, a constant guiding back. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. The more you do it, the more the old paths and patterns and worn outlines of who you are begin to make way to the new outlines. Or even I would say non-outlines, the flow, the vibration. Now from that place, the goals, the to-do lists, the stresses become something that we can reevaluate in a totally different way. Not from a measuring stick that we've inherited from a culture that inherited from a, that was taught by a, that was given by a, that at its root actually benefits people that are trying to control and hoard. that are out of alignment. You can have a lot of stuff, you can have a lot of power and be totally out of alignment. Dimitri said this weekend, he said, if you offered me $1 trillion and the ability to live 1,000 years and be asleep, or 5 minutes of being awake and in alignment and in this space of cosmic vibration and awareness and love, there's no way I would take it. No way. Because from that, when you get into that place of cosmic vibrational alignment, then it all fades away, even death. There is no, the yin and yang is a one. And then every moment, every experience, every vibration that we interpret in whatever way, and a taste and a touch, it's a gift. Not to be hoarded, not to be feared that we might lose it. It's simply a now moment that we can just have awe for and appreciation for, and appreciate the gift. And know that when this gift experience is not a now moment, there is only one now. And our human fragile consciousness, our stunted human consciousness, that we have to struggle to perceive this divinity, is not the end-all be-all. Hardly. It's a game. It's a game that we as divinity allow ourselves to play. Everyone on this planet is playing this game. Not everyone. We are all the one. Playing a different turn. You know, we're different pinballs in one massive game, playing that game. And when you lose all your balls, you're still playing, you're still the one. Now from that place, does that mean you give it all up and dig a hole and sit in a mountaintop? Maybe. Or you gain a new appreciation for the sights and the sounds. You gain a new awareness of the vibration of flow. You gain a new sense of gratitude. And then you just work on that balance of work, worship, love, and play. Thank you for being a part of this now moment. Can you feel the vibration? Let's have a hug. You up for that? Let's have a hug.
You only live once. Enjoy the color.